Okay, here's the last part of your project one, part 4. Okay, so we're going to do the last part. So far, what we had done is here, I'm going to show you part 3. If I run part 3, we have done part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 3, if I run it, I can add a video from the user like this. I add more videos. You can add, keep on adding videos, up to 20 videos is what I have. 20 is the capacity of my array. I can search. I can type in feet and it'll search and bring me happy feet. I can print. Okay, these are the things that I have done so far. Okay, the last part, I have been showing you a text file that's in this folder. So far, we haven't done anything with the text file. We have been looking at it. We really haven't done anything with it. So in this last part, we are going to see how to load the data from a text file. It's like loading from a database into our program and modeling it using arrays. So when the program first starts, it loads from the file and then it presents the menu to the user. Okay, so this is the last part. So what you're going to do is you're going to, I'm gonna copy or move video part 3.cpp to video part 4.cpp. And then I'm going to edit that and do the last final part. Okay, so here's my original code that has the whole thing, and I've been taking pieces of that and putting it into our code because I want you to do incremental programming. I don't want you to write the whole thing and then find out that nothing works. Okay, so here's the last part. We have our file stream. Notice here, include fstream. We already have that. Okay, which is needed to load from the file. Now here we need two function prototypes. One is to open the file. If you look in my original on the left hand side, we want one to open the file and one to read data from the file. So I'm going to copy these two function prototypes from here and I'm going to put them in here. Okay, because we want to open the file and we want to read from the file. So there I have the two prototypes. Open file will open the file and check if it is good, it will return true. If the file did not open for whatever reason, it will return false. And if it returns false, I quit my program. Read data takes the file stream variable, the two arrays. It takes the data from the text file and puts it into the two arrays. Okay, so all the data from the text file will get loaded into the array. Then we close the file. We're done. Then our program runs. It has the data from the file and it runs. It'll show me the data. I can add to it. I can print it. I can search it. So we are mimicking a database. Okay, data modeling. We are working with data and we're going to talk about data structures in this class. That's what we're doing. Okay, notice open file takes file stream variable by reference. Notice the ampersand sign. That's important. File stream variables can only be passed by reference. Okay, here's my open file function that I'm copying. So let's first copy that function, open file. Come here, put it right below main. Right here, before I display the function, I want to put it in here. So the open file function, here's what it does. I have my comments that says it's open file. It opens the file, checks and returns true or false. What does it check? Checks to make sure that we can actually open the file. Because if the file is not there in that folder, then it's going to give you an error message. It takes the file stream variable as a parameter. It returns true or false. It's a Boolean data type. Notice Boolean function type. Open file, file stream variable by reference. Okay. In file.open, I put in videos.txt. That's the name of my text file in double quotes. If the file is not open, if not in file.isOpen, it's a function that checks to see if it's open. Not says if it is not open, then we output a message and we return false. Else we return true. Okay, so let's go to main and call this function. So first we go here and notice on the left hand side I have this function. I call it right here. I declare a file stream variable and I call using an if statement. So right after declaring my count, I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste that code. So ifstream in file, declare a file stream variable. If the function, you call the function here. This is how you call a Boolean function. Open file in file. If it returns false, that means we have a problem. File did not open, and I return 0 and I quit my program. I've already output the error message, remember, in my function. So I don't need to output another error message. I just need to quit. Then if the file opens, what I want to do before I display the menu is I want to come here. Notice here on the left-hand side, I'm calling my read data function. First of all, I need to write my read data function, but we'll write that in a minute. Okay, so I've called it. Let's go to see what my function does. The read data function, let's copy that and walk through it. Here it is. It reads data from the text file. So let's put it right below my open file, right there. Okay, and let's walk through it. So read data is the name of the function, reads the data from the file into the arrays. Okay, and loads it into the arrays. Takes ifstream and array names as parameters. So here are the parameters, ifstream in file and the two char arrays. Returns the count of the number of lines loaded. So if you look in my text file, we are not going to count the number of lines, but I must know how many lines of data I have so I can put it in my array, and then I can use that count to go through and print it later. Okay, so I don't know, I could have hundreds of lines in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a variable called count equals 0. Count starts at 0. Then I read the first line of data in file.getLine, because notice I first have my name of the title of the movie. So in file.getLine, video name square bracket count is 0. So this is the first element that I'm putting into my array. That's what this is saying. We are reading from the file and putting it directly into the array. Max char says how many characters do I have for this character array. The semicolon says stop reading at the semicolon from the file, which is important because I don't want to read the year into the variable for the name, right? So just that part into the first spot in my array, okay? Then we go into a while loop. While not end of file. I'll check to see is there any more data. If there is more data, while not end of file, that means while end of file has not been reached. We go here, we read, notice how I'm reading the year, because after I have read the name, I have a semicolon, then I have 1980. 1980 is a number. Remember our array, int video year that's coming in. Count is again keeping track of the position. Count is 0. Okay, 0 is the position of the array. Here, let me get my whiteboard. Okay, so here are my two arrays. If you recall, we had two arrays, one for the names, one for the year. So this is called names. This is called my year. Remember, this is the two-dimensional array. This is my int array. Okay, let's see if I can get a better pencil. How about that one? Okay, and then here is my file, the text file, which has your data, remember? This is my text file called videos.txt. What we are doing is we are loading from this text file into this array. That's what that function is doing, the read data. And count is keeping track of here. I'll put it here between the two. Count starts at 0. 0 is the position of both the arrays, right? So the first data in my text file, for example, is Lion King. So what we are doing is we are reading it from here. The name goes into this, and then I had a semicolon, and then I had the year. The year goes into this position. Okay, so the name is a char array, so we use .getLine to read the name. The year is an integer, so we use the extraction operator. So if we go back and take a look at the code, that's what this is doing. So int count equals 0. Count starts out at 0 because initially there's nothing in the array, right? We read from the file. There's nothing in the array. We have just started to read from the file. So count equals 0. Get line, video name, square bracket count. So what we are doing is we are getting it from here directly into here. That's what this is. Video name is this array. Count is 0. Max car tilde semicolon. So it reads the Lion King tilde semicolon from the text file, which is right here, into this array. Okay. Then on the next line, we say in file, where am I? Here, in file, extraction operator, video year of count. So the next thing that's there is 1980. That gets read into here. So the name goes in here. Here you'll have 1980. Okay, that's the second step. Once I'm done doing that, what are we doing? In file.ignore. In the text file, you have a new line to make it go to the next line. And the next line says Happy Feet or whatever with some other year, 2010. Then you hit enter, go to the next line. We have to get rid of this new line character from the buffer. So that's what we're doing here by doing infile.ignore 10 or new line. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to have 10 characters. I only have one character after that. So 10 or new line, whichever comes first. Then we increment count because I have to go to the next line. Then I read this. That's what I'm doing. Infile.getLine. Okay, so this was read outside the loop, the first name. Then we went inside the loop, we read the number, then we incremented count, then we are reading Happy Feet or whatever that is until the semicolon. Then the loop will continue while not end of file. It'll check, is there any more data? Well, there's an year after that, so it'll go read that. Then it ignores the next new line, and it keeps doing that until there are no more lines of data in my text file. Okay, so my text file is all done. When we're all done, count will have how many ever, it doesn't matter. I could have 10, I could have 12, 13. Count will keep counting, which is what it's doing here. And every time I read a line, count increments and it will return count. Okay, where is it going? Count is going back to where I called. If you look here, after I open the file, I'm here on the right side. After I open the file, call the read data function to read from the file. So I call read data, send the in file, which is now linked to the file, the video name array, the video year array, and they both get filled, and it comes back with a count which goes into count. And that is the count that I am turning around and sending to all my functions. So then part 3 that we had done before executes the same thing. Nothing happens, right? All I have done is I've just added the read option from the file, the read data and the open file. Okay, so when the program starts, it loads from the file. It does these things first, then displays the menu, and now the user can add things to it, right? We can add more stuff to it. So if you look here, let's see how this program works. So I'm going to compile video part 4. I renamed it, so video part 4, and the executable will be called part 4. Okay, /part4, if I run it, okay, and then I can say P to print, and look, it already has some stuff from the file. It read things from the file now, right? Because that is the first thing I did. Then I can do search. I don't have to add anything, it's there. Or I can add more videos. I can add Lion King 2 and another year to it, whatever year. So now if I print, you see I have 5 movies. I should add a new line somewhere here, but I should, here, let's go and add that. Video part 4. .cpp. So I guess where should I add that? In my display menu, add a new line at the beginning, right? Or actually, let's add it after the print. It'll look better. So after I print, I should say cout and line. And also after my menu options, if I put another new line here, it might be better. There we go. Okay, so here, let's quit and try this one more time. Okay, and then run it. Up arrow will get me all my commands there, so that's a little better. So P to print, A to add. So let's say add Lion King 2. put some here, okay, and then print. Now I get Lion King 2. So if I search for King, I'm going to get both movies. There we go. Okay, so that kind of shows us how to read from the file, how to do a menu-driven program with loops, how to add on to a program like that. And we're going to do more of this as we keep going. So make sure you do it in incremental parts and try it out.